Welcome to Tea with Tori. I'm your host, Tori, and today the tea is hot.
What's up, guys? I am Tori. This is Tea with Tori, the podcast, and today I have a very special guest here. I have Anouk Samuel.
Hey, guys.
Anouk, tell everyone who you are if they don't know you and refresh their minds if they do know you.
I am mainly an actress. I've been acting since I was 12, but I model as well, acting mainly. My episode of Euphoria just came out last weekend, so that's exciting. We love that. My mom was not happy about seeing my boobs on screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she literally said, "Good work on Euphoria. A little warning about your boobs would have been nice." And I was like, I thought I did warn you.
You're like, I didn't think that you'd be surprised by seeing my boobs.
I know, right?
I didn't think that was something that warranted a warning.
I came out of your womb and you are concerned about my naked body. Parents.
Bro, my parents have never been like that. My parents just said never show the vagina. That was their rule. Mm-hmm. That was the very strong
that's
rule.
Kind of that's a fair rule. You know
I feel like that's not really one that that most parents would be like, you know what? I would actually prefer my daughter shows her cooch. I'd prefer it. I just really think she's too shy with it.
That should be a question to all parents out there. Would you prefer topless or bottomless nudes from your kids?
So before you stress out if your kid's topless, think about it. She could be bottomless.
Yeah,
and if there's so many different levels.
Way more aggressive.
It gets so much worse than just a titty. Free the nipple.
It does. Free the nipple. Honestly, men have boobs too. They just are skinnier.
That's what I always say. When men are like, oh, like girls have their boobs out on Instagram. Like, every guy has his titties out at the beach.
We love the double standard.
Right.
It's just America, though. That's the thing. Go to any other country and people are like not nearly as hypersexualized on female bodies.
Definitely don't go to the Middle East, though.
No.
It's definitely way worse there.
add a disclaimer to that one.
Okay, so today I wanted to have you on here because I feel like as an actress and a model, the word that you hear more than anything is no.
Oh, yeah.
Or
you actually don't even hear no. You just don't hear anything back.
Yes.
If we're being honest.
That's actually really true. That's like the world's worst no.
Like half the time you realize you didn't book a project is because
you see it on
TV. No, literally, I've had numerous things like Mindy Kaling's new show, The Sex Lives of College Girls. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh my God, I totally nailed it. And then I get a notification on HBO that it's airing on HBO Max that week. I'm like, cool.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. They won't even tell you no. It's just nothing.
Could you imagine if actors like needed closure like people need in relationships?
Oh, well, they're not
It
actors.
would never happen.
They're just not actors then.
Like you can't do it that way.
Yeah, you literally can't do it. You have to like do a job and forget about it until you hear something. Because especially now with COVID, everything is pushed back. And
that's true.
You know, there are shoot date changes and I've booked stuff that I auditioned for a year before. And I'm like, oh yeah, they obviously gave that to someone else and have been done shooting that in there in post-production, and then you get a booking. So it's just kind of like, there's a lot of moving parts. So you can't really take it too personally unless you know there's like a hard, firm date that they're 1,000% shooting
on.
Which 99% of the time, even that date isn't firm. You know what I mean? It's just like, maybe a table read, maybe not, maybe you don't even book it by then. So it's kind of, you just have to let it go once you do it. Out of sight, out of mind. And then if you book it, great. If you don't, hopefully you're busy enough that you have other auditions to focus on.
What would you say is the biggest role that you wish you had gotten that you did not get? That you were like, damn, I really wanted that.
I would have said that the Sex Lives of College Girls, but then I watched the show.
And you were fine.
And I was okay with it. I was really okay with it. Honestly.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, no. I watched a few episodes. I'm like, you know,
I didn't need to be on that.
I'm that worked out for the best because I think there would have been a lot of creative differences, to be honest. It's not my kind of.
That's how I felt with like a lot of like different influencer trips that I've seen or like been on. I've just like
even events,
literally. LA kind of showed me that nothing is what it seems online.
Oh no.
And no one is who you think they are online. So if
half
you're
the people don't even look like themselves online.
There's too many apps. There's too many apps. I know girls that
they pull up your Instagram and then you're like, wait, that's you?
Dude, my brother would have crushes on girls and then we would go to events and I'd be like, oh, that's that girl you have a crush on. He'd be like, absolutely not. I'm like, we'll talk to her right now. We'll go have a conversation with
You're
her.
like, I'm approve it. Let's put some money on that.
Literally, I'm
Let's
like,
put some
tell
money
me
on
that's
that.
not her. Okay, let's go.
Because
I'll do the
guys
whole
don't
thing.
realize the whole, literally. You're like, see?
I'm like,
see?
"You see
Same
that
outfit.
Literally, it's the outfit.
Same
I'm like,
outfit.
do you see the outfit she's wearing?
Uh-huh.
You
You're
see
like,
how
she
she's wearing
posted
it?"
this before going out, and now she's here in the same outfit. I'm just saying.
Different body.
Oh, yeah.
Different face.
Yeah, everything.
Same outfit.
Yeah. It's like, who wore it better, but it's
Literally.
the same person.
That's
It's
the
really
worst
scary.
thing though with like Instagram is literally I feel like everyone is at this point competing with their online persona and trying to live up to who the world thinks they are at this point.
I feel like those are the people that end up just burning out.
Oh, 100%. How
Because
do you
it's
last
like,
with that?
You can't. You're competing with yourself, but you're competing with like an altered version of
You're competing
yourself.
with like I always say Instagram's like a highlight reel of your life.
It is.
So if you chop off all the bad shit and you're looking at only like the good
Yeah.
shit and you're trying to
Literally, it's
compete
like editing
with
a movie or a TV show. You're not going to show the,
The
stuff
whole
that
thing.
looks bad. Like,
never.
they're all going to look perfect all the time, even if there's drama. Like, do you really think someone's going to look that good when they got broken up with and they have makeup on and it's going to
crying.
stay on? It's not going to stay on.
Bro, I've always hated like the Disney like single tier, like a Disney princess. I'm like,
Yeah.
nobody cries like that.
No, they literally put an eye drop in their
Literally.
eye, and they tell them not to blink until they're rolling. That's literally how they do that.
Stop.
Movie magic.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah. When
And
it's a single tier, oh yeah.
And the rest of us are out here looking like Kim Kardashian. Just fucking.
Losing her earring in the freaking ocean.
People are dying, Kim.
People are dying, Kim.
That's the worst, dude.
That was the height of reality TV. Reality TV used to be something different than it is now. It was literally like they would find the most ratchet people they could find
This is
and
so
then
true.
put them in a house and give them
Yes.
so much alcohol.
Yes, unlimited alcohol. Now on reality TV, you got a cap. You got
Literally.
like a 2-3 drink max.
That's what my sister was telling
well,
me.
because they don't want people getting sloppy.
No, because then I feel like you can sue and be like, I was out of character, you got me too drunk, blah,
So
blah, blah.
there was a Bachelor in Paradise episode, or season, where they had to shut down filming because there was an allegation of like sexual misconduct, and they had to investigate the whole thing, and literally everyone flew home. It was within the first week.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about. First of all, like,
And I feel like even since then, like they've really cracked down on how much people can drink, because then you get hit with that, like, oh, I don't remember that happening, but it's on film, and there was a whole TV crew there.
Think about when you're drinking. Think about the times you've gotten fucked up, like really fucked up.
And you
If
didn't
someone was
realize it.
filming the whole thing,
That would be
everything
so
you did.
mortifying.
Like, think about Jersey Shore.
Okay,
Like,
Jersey
poor
Shore
fucking
is so
Snooki,
fucking
bro.
Funny, though. So fucking funny.
Yes, but it's funny
Apparently
because they're
there are-
drunk the whole
There are
time.
hidden Jersey Shore sex tapes, because you know how they always had cameras in all the rooms?
Yeah, but they just wouldn't show.
Yeah, and there's like apparently a whole like fucking secret locker full of like Jersey Shore sex tapes.
I mean, I would think so.
and
They-
Pauly D wants to sell his. So, you know,
oh
teach
my.
their own.
What's crazy is it's like Pauly D wants to sell his, oh, ha, 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 that's so funny.
But
If
what about the
Snooki was
girls?
like, I want to sell mine,
Yup.
everyone would be like,
Yep.
Snooki's a whore.
Yup. She's a mother. How dare
Oh
she?
my God.
Yup.
Motherhood.
But Pauly D is a dad, and like
Yeah, but
one-
no.
no, there was I didn't
Being
see
a
any comment.
being a dad doesn't change you. Just being a mother.
You get applauded for being a dad.
You're like,
doing
wow,
the
you're
bare
a
minimum.
hot dad.
DILF.
Oh my God.
But if we're honest, MILF was a thing first. So at
MILF
least
is
we
a
got
thing,
that.
but women aren't like respected for being MILFs.
True.
It's not like, oh my God, like when I grow
They
up, I
should
hope
be.
I'm a MILF.
Oh,
Like,
I've been saying that since I was in middle school.
I mean,
I respect it. But society as a
I'm
whole.
sorry, society.
Society as a whole.
Society's a dickhead.
Yes.
In a like the worst
People are
pantsuit.
dickheads. People
All
are
of them.
dickheads.
All of them are
Yes.
dickheads. All the people.
99.9% of them. At least in LA. I don't know about the rest of the
No,
country.
dickheadness is pretty
Pretty
spread throughout the
standard.
world. I don't feel like there'd be war if people weren't dickheads.
Facts. That's very true.
Okay, so another question I have for you is what was the first role that you ever were cast in, and what made you actually like be able to get your shit together and do it? Because everyone usually gets nervous.
It
like,
was
at
kind of
first.
like 2 to 3 bookings within a week, but stuff I'd booked auditioned for months previously. The first one, I think would technically be Rideshare Killer. But I didn't audition for that one. They just offered me the role. So I don't know if I would count that. Because I'd auditioned for someone that was on the team enough times that it was like a short little cameo. Like I was, Drew Barrymore's role in Scream where she's like in the opening?
Yes.
I was literally just in the opening.
Gotcha.
But I had a scene with Eric Roberts, so that was cool.
Okay. You're like when the hot girl dies in the beginning of
literally, I'm like the first or second person to die, literally. And
They always kill the hot girl first or second.
They always,
especially if she has sex, then she's dead in like 10 minutes. I had no sex,
so I made it through the first 10 minutes of the movie.
There it
10,
is.
15. I guess Escape from Area 51. It was like a small budget, like kind of spoof science. Yeah, like it's literally about Area 51 and people going there.
Oh shit.
That one, it was honestly just like an easy script. It's just one, you never really know what the difference is between the auditions that you booked and you didn't. Like you just don't know.
Well, I feel like at the end of the day, when they're looking for someone and casting people, they already know what they're looking for. They're just looking for that person.
That's the crazy part. Sometimes they don't because it's a full cast half the time. So like if they're trying to cast you say in a family, or I got this one role that I got a callback for but didn't book, and I think it's because I was playing a twin. I would have had a twin brother, and it's like
didn't look like the twin they chose.
Right, and that's the thing. Like a lot of times it's not even you, it's
someone that you're supposed to be playing.
Yeah, it's the rest of the cast, or maybe you're a little bit too tall for the lead actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's just certain things that they're like, shit, we would have cast her. But then that's how you end up getting stuff where they offer you the role without you auditioning. Because they're like, well, we're keeping you in mind for something else. It's just, you're like making this guy look like Tom Cruise and it's embarrassing and we can't do that to the lead actor. You know what I mean? Like half the time
that was
really
always my issue with acting because I acted a lot when I was a kid, but I would literally go into things and they, first of all, biracial was like not a thing.
Not a thing.
You
That's
were
why
white,
I never
black,
did commercial.
Or Spanish. And then they were like, if you spoke Spanish, you'd be killing it. I'm like, but I'm biracial. I'm not even Spanish.
And it made no difference with commercials.
You're like, no, don't listen to them.
No. Because the thing is, then in their minds for commercial Spanish, they're thinking a Mexican family or someone that's like not from South America, but from, just right over the border from California. So then you don't fit their commercial version of what a Spanish person is supposed to look like. Now ethnically ambiguous is like the biggest thing out there.
So you kind of went through acting as that changed. Mm-hmm. What would you say is the biggest change that you experienced in going from it being very like racially typecasted to more ethnically ambiguous? Did work like skyrocket
Way more
for you?
Auditions, honestly. I mean, I also didn't refocus. I guess I refocused on acting around the same time that kind
made
of
sense
happened.
At that point for you again. Like,
yeah, because I was going to college, like paying college by myself, working a job part-time, going into debt, and I was like, and then driving to LA from Santa Barbara for auditions.
Oh my God.
Like, that's a little bit much. And I was like, well, I'm not getting any younger, so, drop out, work full-time, and just go from there. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to do it, I gotta just send it at some point.
What made you take that, like, actual leap? Because a lot of people get caught and they're like, this is what I want to do. So, but like, I'm still going to do this part-time and give this half my energy.
I worked a lot of different jobs, and I did put half my energy into acting. But the thing is, if you're not doing almost every single audition you're getting in to start with, then you're probably not going to be booking anything. If you're like picking and choosing, like, okay, I can make it to this one because it fits in my schedule. Yeah. You're not going to book. No one books their first audition except the two guys I worked with on Euphoria. That was their first acting gig. Must be nice. Mm-hmm. They'd never acted professionally. They were both musical theater students and got discovered somehow. I don't know who they knew. And they literally flew in on their own dime to LA to film for Euphoria. Yeah. And now one of them is going to be on the new Pretty Little Liars reboot they're filming for HBO Max. That's just how acting is.
So how does that make you feel as someone that has been acting since you were 12?
Well,
that for some other people,
a little bit of shit.
So easy.
I don't even feel like it's easy. It's just like right time, right place. You know what I mean? Like, you could literally miss a role by like 30 seconds because maybe you didn't get your tape in early and someone else did and they really liked that person and decided to just go with them and close the audition. Because I've had that happen before too, where I've memorized like 2-3 page monologue, got ready for it, was literally at my manager's house, ready to tape it, and then we go to submit it and it had closed. And that one was probably the one that pissed me off the most because, like...
You prepared.
Yeah, and also as a female actress versus a male actor, like, we have to do our hair and makeup. It's not get in the shower, wash your face, and maybe put in a little hair product. Literally, little hair product, and they're like, yes. Like, no.
Did it.
He's like, you did it, bro. You showered today. You brushed your teeth. You put on deodorant. You brushed your hair. Like... Dude,
I'm like, fuck,
that's
how do I
just my
contour
morning
again?
routine. Like,
how do I contour again? God damn it.
I mean, the biggest thing that annoys me about self-tapes and modeling and acting and anything in the entertainment industry is the preparation. And it's really just doing the hair and makeup. Like, think about it. If every girl had their own professional makeup artist for every single thing
my God, my life would be so easy.
We would all be snatched and glam all the time because you can just sit there and shoot the shit. And then an hour and a half, 2 hours later, you look in the mirror and you're like,
glorious.
Yes.
You look glorious.
Yes, exactly.
That is the worst thing.
It's not even the sides that piss me off the most. It's literally having to do my hair and makeup. Yeah. That's why I normally do 2 in a day, because if it's like a short one, I feel like I totally wasted my time getting ready for an hour and a half to do a 20-minute self-tape. Like,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's true.
So if it works, I usually do like 2, like yesterday I had an in-person audition and then I did 2 self-tapes when I got home. So it's like, knock as many out as you can in a day within reason.
What would you say is your key to self-taping at home?
Having the setup, honestly. You need good lighting, you need the backdrop setup, because as soon as you have anything distracting, like, they're not looking at you anymore. And honestly, the biggest secret that my old manager told me is a blue backdrop instead of a white backdrop, because it literally makes your eyes pop, and it also makes it look like you have natural daylight at any time of the day.
Really?
If you have a good light, of course. So like one of these, and then pop up a blue backdrop, and you would be so surprised how, like...
Daylight it looks.
Yeah. Like, amazing.
I'm gonna have to start stealing that.
Blue backdrop, I'm telling you. I had a white one, and I was like... You know, it looks okay, but it washes you out. And then I did the blue one, and I was like, oh, whoa. Okay, I get it now. Like, big difference. And also a Bluetooth remote. That's super helpful, because when you have your phone on a tripod, if you touch it to start and stop, then the tripod wobbles. So, like, then you have to edit out that wobbly part.
Time.
You can literally get a Bluetooth remote on Amazon for like $15 and just start and stop it. And then you're able to control when you're starting and stopping. It's crucial. I never self-tape without my Bluetooth remote.
Took tips from Anouk. Blue background, Bluetooth remote.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of blue. A lot of blue from her.
Yes! And you can get it all on Amazon.
Oh my goodness, blue and Amazon.
Blue and Amazon. Amazon Prime is an addiction.
What would you say is your biggest tip for in-person auditions?
In person, definitely be off book. Like 1000% be off book. There are many people that will be like, oh, do you need your sides? Or, you know, if you ask them, no, a lot, they'll say yes. But a lot of times it's like an immediate, like, kind of red flag that you're green, which is just, you know, new to the industry if you can't even get off book, especially if you had time to get off book. Not like yesterday where I had 12 hours notice, 2 pages of sides. Luckily, they were so behind. I was sitting there for an hour, so I had time to do it. But being off book, I feel like, really makes an impact on people because they don't always expect it. But I feel like even if they don't realize it, they're like silently like putting you in a different category versus the person that comes in, doesn't even have to look at their sides before they start rolling. And people are impressed by that. Like,
because they know when they sent it to you.
Yeah, exactly. My audition the other day, they're like, oh, do you need your sides? Like, the last girl, she used her sides. I'm like, nope, I'm good. She's like, you want to glance? I'm like, nope, I'm off book.
That sounds nice for her.
She's like, whenever you're ready. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
The time is now. I'm ready now.
Right now. I've been in character since I drove over here. Like, you know, and I run lines in my head, like, throughout the day. So that's helpful, too.
What's your biggest tip to getting off book?
Notes, I guess. I break down my sides, so like for every line of dialogue you have, like just put an action to it. because that way you're not acting. It's just whatever you would naturally do, like with that emotion or action or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you're arguing with someone and it's like you're not backing down, you're challenging them. So you put that in your mind and you're like, how would I challenge someone? Like what would my demeanor be? Because the biggest secret about acting nowadays is not acting.
Literally. No
Like,
one wants to see
no
you
one-
acting.
Literally, no one wants that. Except yesterday, that was really weird. But like, they wanted theatrical, so that was totally different.
Yeah,
But
that's wild.
They literally want as natural as possible, like you and me talking right now. Like
Well, I
they
feel like
would
because
want this
everyone
to be a
wants
scripted
reality.
scene. Well, yeah, because you want it to be relatable. You know what I mean? Like the biggest shows now are the ones that you're like watching and you're like, oh my God, I could totally see myself going through that.
Literally, or like a mystic version of what like you're going through. Like I feel
Yeah.
like that popped off with Twilight and everything. It was like, okay, make them in high school, but
Werewolves!
werewolves and witches and vampires.
Make them in high school, but they also look like they're 25
Yes.
and like way more mature than any 15-year-old.
They have wrinkles. They have crow's feet, but they're fucking high school.
Literally, they've been doing Botox for 5 years, but they're playing a 15-year-old. Alrighty, guys. Yeah.
You could see his 5 o'clock shadow. Where did it come from?
Oh, the best part is like think about all the shows we watched when we were in high school and the way all the guys looked. More so than the girls sometimes. What guy in high school as a freshman is like 200-pound solid muscle? Like,
I was just watching John Tucker Must Die, and I was like, what high school?
exactly.
What high school?
Yeah.
What high school had Aaron Samuels from Mean Girls?
And then it
no,
gives
no
us
one.
this like false like idea of what men are supposed to look like at 15.
I was in high school like, where's Zac Efron?
Literally.
I'm so confused.
You're like, where are the actual
Literally,
Where'd they go?
someone put me in the wrong high
the
school.
wrong school? Literally, where
Dude.
are the hot guys at? though?
That's low key when I was like, this must be, they're filming these in Los Angeles. This must be the Los Angeles high schools. That's what they look like in Los Angeles. Mind you, it's just college students.
Yeah, and then you look at the breakdowns and you work with some of the actors and they're like, oh no, I'm 35, but I still look like I'm 15, so I play a high school student all the time. And you're like,
Well, that's the thing with like crazy scenes like on Euphoria, and like you have like the hardcore like rape scenes and stuff like that. You're like, oh my God, she's 14. But then you look at it and you're like, oh, she's 26.
Yeah,
playing
exactly.
14.
yeah.
So
And it's what, like certain, I feel like there are certain things now, like they won't have someone under 18 do. Like back in the day, they did. They had 15-year-olds
I feel like they did for the
doing-
wow factor to
Yeah,
be like,
all
there's a
sort-
15-year-old in this movie getting blah, blah,
Like
blah.
Blue Lagoon, the one with Brooke
Everything
Shields.
with Brooke Shields.
She had got so
Everything.
much backlash from that.
Duh.
So much backlash, but also like, who in their right mind thought that was a good idea?
Have
Why
you
don't
seen the one
hire
where
a-
she's a baby prostitute?
Yeah. Got just
She's like 12 in that. They literally bring her out on a platter naked. I'm like, what type of child porn?
literally. Well, that was like the Harvey Weinstein days. Too.
Literally.
Like things used to low key be really creepy.
Even like
And
I
they
was
still
talking,
can be,
I was talking to
but-
my friend about Bye Bye Birdie, the movie, and I'm like describing it. I'm like, wait, so this fucking like 28-year-old dude comes to a town and there's a contest where he's gonna kiss one of the high school girls. I was like, wait,
You're like, in what town are we hosting this?
in statutory
South?
rape land, like
Yeah,
literally,
literally.
that was the whole premise of the movie, was that he goes to a town to kiss a girl in high school
So what? Like,
as a grown man.
what weird perverted dude wrote that script? Is my question.
Like who wrote the what's it not American Psycho, it's the one
American Horror Story.
the one with all the rose petals. It's with Kevin Spacey.
No. I'm not thinking of the
It's
right
like
one.
everything's
not
fucking
House
called
of
American Pie.
Cards.
Now I have to look it up.
I'm trying
It's
to
gonna
think.
freak me out.
Because Kevin Spacey got Me Too'd like a while ago. So I'm trying to think back to like, pre that happening.
American Beauty.
Ah, yeah.
This one with the rose petals.
Yes.
So the whole premise again of that movie is a middle-aged man who hates his life and his wife's having an affair because he's so obsessed with his daughter's best friend.
Oh, best friend.
Her 15-year-old, they're 15. He's obsessed with her.
If you think about some of the movies from like 10 years ago, a lot of them have like borderline like
Pedophilic undertones.
Yeah, like a lot of them. And there's actually a lot of things that are now being removed from like streaming services because
Yep.
they're like Like everyone's like woke now, and they're like, oh
It's like,
shit, wait, that's
wait.
actually like so
Wrong.
so wrong, and then you're glorifying it with a movie, and then you wonder why people are so twisted.
It's like the same reason why I have like an issue with movies that glorify like strippers and like sugar babies and stuff. Like, yes, they do make a shit ton of money. That's why I loved Hustlers, because it's like it goes very wrong most of the time though. Like 90% of the girls that like I know that do that type of stuff, it's not like rainbows and sunshines of stories.
They
I
get
hear.
themselves in some very dangerous situations.
Some very sketchy
And the thing
situations.
is, there's situations that seem totally fine and then go wrong in a matter of 30 seconds. Like, because my psycho ex-roommate, she's a sugar baby. She flipped her shit on me one night and literally attacked me at a dinner for no reason. She thought I left her and I was sitting right in front of her. So yeah, that's whole circle, like, I stay far away from it because that's also a lot of the places where girls get roofied and like no one has your back when things get wrong. Go wrong. You know, like this falling out of my ear.
Literally.
Like it's all fun and games till someone gets roofied and, you know,
Taken advantage of.
expects someone else there to have their back, but they're just party friends. Like,
That's a very huge lesson that needs to be learned, is the difference between a friend and a party friend.
yes.
And I'm not saying that party friends are
Is a bad-
shitty friends.
yeah,
you
they're
need
not.
the party friends for when you party.
Yeah.
But
And
do
sometimes
not.
they're really good people, but they're not someone that would really fit in your life in a way that you would be super close. That's why you're party friends. Like,
I feel like party friends are like that person that you're really excited to see at an event, but you wouldn't
You would
be
never
excited
hang
to
out,
see
yeah.
like at the gym the next morning.
Yes.
Like you would be like,
and you'd also like never hang out with them
no, it's always like, oh my God, we gotta chill.
yeah, but
And then
like
you never
it's
do.
like every 6 months.
If that, and it's like
when you run into each
before
other in
or
person.
after whatever event you were at.
Exactly.
It's never like an arranged
No,
meetup organically.
never. It's always like, oh, you're at that pregame too? Hey, girl.
Oh my God, I'm coming.
Yes,
I'm on the way.
Wait, how many girls have you met drunk in a bathroom that then you don't remember their names and then they come up to you like, I don't even know, months later? Oh my God, hey girl, and you're just like, fuck. I'm like racking my brain, like, where did I meet this
That
girl?
used to happen to
Probably
me
in a
at
bathroom
Arsenic all the
drunk.
time. I would meet
Same.
a lot of girls at Arsenic because it was like the first place I started going when I moved here.
Yeah.
And I would meet like 50 girls in one day and then come back and I'd be like, I was the only new person, so of course you remember my name, but I don't remember jack shit.
No, I literally would introduce myself to people at the Arsenic House. Always like, I'm terrible with names and I'm gonna forget it in probably the next like 30 seconds, so don't be offended if I ask you again.
People
That's
literally
my disclaimer, so people can't get offended.
for months would call me you. And they'd get
People
mad
have
at me
called
for
me-
not turning around. Not turning around. People would be like, Anouk. And I'd be like, where's she?
You're like, wait, what?
Because we were friends
Yeah,
at the time.
yeah,
so
yeah.
it was like, people would be like, where?
No, people have totally confused
I'm
me
like-
for you too at the Arsenic House. They're like, oh my God, you're in that band with your siblings, right? I'm like, no, that's
the
Tori.
other-
That's Tori.
the other
We're
biracial
friends
lights.
now. Literally. This is what happens when you are one of the only two biracial.
Literally,
Biracial.
the only two biracial
Like
chicks.
we're saying, ethnically
and we're
ambiguous.
tall.
Yes.
And we're tall.
And we both, you know, have the long, darker hair. That's enough for people.
They're like,
That's
oh,
enough.
yeah,
And
that's
the
that girl.
light-ish eyes.
Don't even.
Yeah, that's enough.
No
They're
more
like
definition needed.
Twins.
Oh my
The
God.
best part is when people get
People would
mad,
probably
though.
believe that we were twins if we told them. If we told them we were fraternal twins.
Yeah, they would believe it. Even identical. People are dumb.
Yeah,
man.
people are dumb. We both got bangs. People would 100% believe
Literally,
we were
like
the
just
same
you know,
outfit.
same like highlights.
Literally,
same
it's
outfit.
exactly the same.
People would believe it.
100%.
People would totally believe it. That's so funny.
I just started using Bellamy.
I love Bellamy's are the best. We love
I
Bellamy.
literally was like, is this what spending $1,000 on hair looks like?
Oh, when I spent $800 on my headshots last year, I was like, I
It's
want
like violent.
It
It's
is
like makes you
violent.
kind of want to like be ill.
Yeah, I literally had to take a couple shots after making those Venmo payments because
Oh
I was
my
like, okay, I'm
God.
just gonna get drunk and I'm gonna forget about it because I need my headshots. So we're just gonna.
I think one of the most painful payments I've ever had to do was I lost the key to this front door and I didn't know until getting it replaced. That this is one of the most expensive doors to get replaced.
Of course it
because
is.
it's impossible to break into. This
Which is a good thing unless you lose the key.
And then you lose the key and it costs $500
So they
to
literally
fix
had to
it.
replace
The
door.
whole knob. The whole thing because
That's
it's like
insane.
it's only one per thing. There's like no master key, blah blah blah.
And
it's like
you can't
literally-
break into it, so you can't get a locksmith because locksmiths just break into the place for you legally. Isn't that funny? They get paid to legally break
Break
into
in.
places.
The first
You're like,
person
sir,
ever
can you please break into my house right now?
professional break-in artist being you.
I mean, honestly, it would be so smart to be a locksmith and then like at night just shadows like a burglar.
Literally.
Because no one would think anything of it. You have all the equipment, but like you're a locksmith.
Like, are you breaking in, sir? That's my job.
You're like, look at my van.
It says locksmith.
Okay, maybe we're giving people ideas.
Don't do that.
Don't do this at home, kids.
That would just be wild if you did do that.
Yeah, that's a
However,
commitment.
don't try anything at home. And like I said before, you can follow me, but I'm not a role model.
We're just being us and
Yes.
like, you know, take
There-
it as you wish.
I feel like I do a lot of things that like might be something that may seem inspiring, and it could inspire you, but not everything I do. And that's
Yes.
what I don't like about people that are like, I am like the person you should be inspired by. Like that's
Those are
just,
always
like,
the worst people.
It leaves no room for failure. It leaves no
But
room
those
for
are always the
mistakes,
worst people,
and they're
too.
horrible.
They literally, those are like high key.
Follow me. I know everything. I know what I'm
Literally.
doing.
Those are the people that like when you're friends with them, you realize how horrible a person they are.
Literally.
And you're like, oh, that's why we only
Those
ever
people-
said hi in passing.
And I really like a pet peeve of mine are people that if you're telling a story about like something like really sad or something that hurt you, and they're like, "Oh my god, that reminds me of when
Yes,
I'm like,
yes.
this
Like
is
it's a
not your
competition.
moment.
Yeah.
This is me
It's a
crying right now."
contest. It's a contest. That's always a red flag for me, though. I feel like I've had enough like fucked up friends in LA from like living here since I was 7 that like I know the red flags, and I'm like, ooh, okay, we're gonna keep you at arm's length. Literally.
Like,
we don't need to have a falling out, but like we're just not. We're gonna be like this.
I feel like people don't understand like acquaintances, and they don't understand being cordial.
Do you know how many people probably think we're their best friends? I've had people I haven't seen in years be like, "Oh my god, you've been my best friend for years." I'm like,
But
we
then
haven't
to
spoken
me-
since 2015.
To me, I'm like, then, or do you really think I'm your best friend, or is it beneficial for me to be like for like you to be like, "Oh my god, my best friend"?
Well, it's usually that one.
Because we haven't spoken, and you
Literally.
don't know what's happening with me other than what's on my Instagram story. So
The
you're
highlight reel.
You become a follower at
You're
this
like,
point,
nice to meet you, fan.
and that's like I literally have friends that we don't speak, but every single day we send each other a meme,
Yeah, but that's
and that's
fine.
still a friendship
Like
to
the
me.
thing is,
The
part of
contact.
being an adult is like you don't have time to be on the phone texting your friends back and forth every day. Like
Who
you
the
did in high
fuck has
school.
the time for that? Especially if you have a boyfriend or a relationship of any
Yeah.
kind. Like,
but even if you don't, like, you definitely have more downtime
Because,
when
like,
you're
you-
single.
you
'Cause
have
at
a little
night,
bit more, like,
you know,
oh,
like the
let me turn
FaceTime.
on-
Yeah. But
But-
like in general, people that get offended because I don't like text them.
Respond
Yeah,
immediately.
Half the time I'll go back to the text and they're like all pissed at me, and I'm like, oh, the response was literally right there. I just didn't press it.
Janice does that all
Like,
the fucking
I'm
time.
so sorry. And that's why I'll double text people sometimes, or like give them a few days and then just like send a question mark, because I
That's
know I
so
will open
easy.
something and forget.
Yep.
And with all the iPhone updates, why can we not like mark a red text as unread anymore? That used to be a thing.
I feel like you can if you like hold it down and like edit the text thread. Let's see.
No, I think you can only delete it. I swear to God, because I've tried to do it, because otherwise I forget once it's open.
No, that's why I have so many unread texts.
Yes, and that's what I do too, because if not, I'll literally like put my phone down, get distracted by something, and
Pin, hide alert, share with you.
you can only pin. I swear to God, pin or delete or mute notify. You can do all that shit, but you can't mark it as unread after you open it. Apple, if you're watching,
No, you can't
y'all
do
need
it
to add
anymore.
this in the next update, because that used to be. I remember that being a thing.
Or literally mark it like need to respond or
yeah, like
something.
a little dot or something. Like with all
Yeah.
the features we have.
You could literally throw your
Just throw something in there. I'm sure one of your coders has that just sitting on the back burner
Literally.
from like 10 iPhones ago.
and he's literally presented it at every
Yeah.
meeting, and they're like,
No.
no, you know what we need? A new camera.
You know what we need? A higher definition map.
Yes.
Okay, why are there 3 different modes on my like Apple Maps? I don't need 3 different modes on my Apple Maps. I need to be able to mark a text as important. Can we start there?
Like email, like you can star it.
Yes, you can flag it. You can do something,
Something.
with it. Something.
Apple, we're about to
Apple,
change the game right here.
We are.
You know that a fucking Samsung is going to do this. If they
Oh,
if
yeah.
it can't already do it, you know that
Oh,
they
I
are
bet-
going to
no,
do
I
it
bet
now.
They can do it.
I bet you they can.
I bet you they
because they're better.
in every way
Except being user friendly. That's why you win, Apple. Good job.
Yes.
We know how to use you easily, and humans are stupid.
Yes, we are. And also the fact that everything syncs.
Yep.
If you're in social media, entertainment, that's where it starts. Because I need access to everything.
All the things.
I'll have my iPad sitting for a week and not use it, and all of a sudden I have 2 computers open, my phone, my iPad.
It's a necessity.
It's necessary.
Like right now, my phone is filming, and then the other phone is here for me to look things up that I have questions about because I'm an ADD psychopath that if I find...
That's why we've been talking about random shit for probably an hour.
That's why this is amazing. Did you see, dude, my first podcast, it's me for an hour, and I'm like, oh my God, sorry, I went off on another tangent. Oh, sorry. I mean, I was just rambling about something that had nothing to do with the original topic, but going back to that.
That's just my brain. I feel like
that's what I said.
I show people my schedule, and I'm like, if you want to see a physical representation of my brain, here you go.
No, if you want to see...
That script I sent you today, did you see all the scribbles and notes?
100%. That's why I wanted you to share with them, because I've never seen them before.
It's called breaking down a script. It's very helpful.
It's called breaking down, period.
Yes. Breaking down. You break it down, break the character down. Because once you know everything that's going on, it's actually so much easier. Like, I know the other people in the scene's lines as well, because that's your cue for your next line. So if you know all these little things, I mean, it seems like a lot of work, but like once you have
it becomes less work.
Yeah, I have a hat, like, as soon as I get an audition in, I look at the deadline, print out the sides, staple them, highlight them, break them down, and put them in my sides folder. And then start figuring out when I'm going to memorize
based
them.
on like deadlines.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes one is due 2 weeks later. Sometimes one is due in less than 24 hours. And Euphoria was a less than 24 hour.
Of course it was.
Yep. But they also gave you a 1-page script with like 2-3 lines because 90% of that show is improv.
Oh, that's fire.
It's literally like Sam has like a vision for what he wants, and there's like minimal dialogue so the actors know what's going on. But most of it is literally improv. Like a couple of the scenes in there for my episode were literally just improv lines. He's like, oh, I like that, let's stick with that, and we're like, okay, sure. He didn't know how to hold a beer, like a keg of beer, like a college guy, because we were trying to frame it out properly, and it looked really weird because like Henry, who was playing my boyfriend, was supposed to be like this, and he's also supposed to be holding the beer, and I'm like, that's not. I was like, that's gonna look weird. Like, we can try it, but it's gonna look really weird. Yeah. And Sam's like, okay, that looked horrible. I'm like, just hold it like a frat guy. Literally. And they're like he's like, yeah. And he's like, how do frat guys hold beer? I'm like, have none of you guys been to college? Like, I'm like, guys, and I literally demonstrated, and he's like, yes. He's like, that makes so sense. Much better. I'm like, college. Go to one USC party just and you'll understand. Even if you don't go to college, go to the parties. Yeah, so I mean, I went to college parties my senior year of high school to like mentally prepare for the shit show. You have to prepare yourself. See, I was clubbing at 16, so same. I was like, yeah, totally. No, honestly, once I got to college, it was like disappointing. At least the college. Where do you go from clubs? And also like growing up in LA. Literally, you grew up in LA, grew up in New York. Like, where do you go from there? You go to like a small town, like go to like Syracuse and turn up at the college bar? No, not even the college bar. You turn up at the house, but not in the house. You're in the basement with no windows. Oh. It's disgusting. It's lovely. It's actually disgusting. It sounds like a beautiful place where... I'm like, where I'm from, people have guest houses for their parties. Literally. You're like, I'm coming from LA. Backyard? You're like, where's the gated community that we're going to? What's the code for the gate? Literally. What do we tell the security? What's the keyless entry? Literally. Where's the valet? Where's the valet? Oh, over here in LA at its finest. Oh my God. Is this vegan? Literally. Is it almond milk or is it oat milk? Because that determines it. That's important because I'm allergic to almonds. As long as it's not soy, because I'm allergic to soy. Soy's really bad for females. I know that. Isn't that? I feel like you should say you're allergic to soy even if you're not. Like, people say that they're allergic to shit when they're not. Like, I have a gluten allergy, and then you're eating like fucking... You see them like eating a dozen donuts in their story. You're like, bitch, I thought you were gluten. My favorite thing that would catch people is they would say they were gluten-free when I worked at Catch, and then I'd see them drowning their shit in soy sauce. My love. You're like, there's gluten in that. Honey baby doll. Mm-hmm.
that's filled with you're just glutening
and
in the whole thing.
And the people that actually have celiac disease will literally be vomiting on the table.
Yeah, that's I know you're not.
Yeah,
you don't have a gluten allergy.
No,
because you're skipping out of here.
Well, if you think about it, everyone in LA says they're gluten free, but it's a choice. I had to try switch to gluten free pasta for a little bit, and it was the worst thing ever. You stay full for like an hour. It's like eating a shitty salad. Like, how do people survive? And then you wonder why those are the girls that get blackout every time they go out and drink.
Dude, it's always the sugar-free, gluten-free.
Or they're vegan.
That means you ate one pear today.
Literally, I'm sorry, but when you hear gluten-free, vegan, anything like that,
and
in
she's
LA,
drinking.
And she's drinking, it usually means she has an eating disorder.
Yes.
Is taking Adderall like crazy, and
Yes.
is then going to proceed to black out and vomit all over wherever you guys go out at night. And I know this from experience because I've had 5 ex-best friends that was their habit. Yeah.
My favorite are the girls that are super, super,
And then they're
super
like, I
healthy.
don't know what happened.
No, the ones that are super healthy and then do coke.
They go to the gym every day.
I only drink juices, and I'm
Fresh
a raw
juices.
vegan, fresh juices, and it has to be from Erewhon. It has to be from Erewhon.
But literally, but they only do the organic cocaine.
Oh,
Yeah.
straight from Colombia.
Yes, that's how, you know what I mean? They're like, it's fresh off the boat. It's okay, guys.
Literally.
My dealer said it's organic. So
This is exactly what all
welcome
the
to
Colombians
LA.
said.
Welcome to LA, guys. If you ever wondered what LA is really like,
Don't move here if you have an image.
you better
and
have
you
a thick skin if you're moving out
stars
here.
in your eyes. This is not the right place. Thank God I moved from New York. I feel like shit would have really gone bad if I had
moved
not.
from Miami, and I was raised here, so yeah, shit would have definitely. Because think about it, the kids that are sheltered and don't do that stuff young, they get to college and then they black out, and then bad shit starts happening because they can't handle their alcohol.
That was always the kids, because my parents were like, what we don't see, we can't get you in trouble for. So be safe and be in the house.
That's how my mom was, but she snooped through my phone, so
Oh yeah, no.
different.
My parents never revealed to me that they snooped through my phone.
That's the key. No, my mom would literally call me and be like, oh my God, this is a story I have to tell you. So when I lost my virginity, my mom was going through my phone at this point, and I get home from school one day, and I shit you not, she's standing at the counter, and she goes, how long have you been having sex? Hi sweetie, how was school? Just, how long have you been having sex? I literally have never been more frozen in my life. I was like, okay, if she's asking this question, it's because the bitch already knows. So I'm like, what are you talking about? What? And then she grounded me for 2
What
months.
is sex?
What's sex? I don't know.
I don't know what
I
that.
have no idea.
I was talking to my friend about what sex might be. I mean, my friend was pressuring me, and she was saying that I hadn't had sex, so I told her I wasn't a virgin.
I couldn't even go that far. I already knew she knew. My mom only asked those specific questions because she had been snooping through my phone and read lengthy ass conversations and already had all the info. All of it. We're much closer now, but back in the day of me living with her, not the best.
See, everyone had a BlackBerry and I didn't, or they had a sidekick and I didn't. I had a fucking regular ass phone, so I did a lot of my shit on Facebook Messenger.
Fair, but
So-
my mom went through my Facebook Messenger too. She had all my passwords. First year I went to Coachella, I'm dead
How
ass.
did she have all your fucking? Did she have the keystroke thing?
No, it was part. If I wanted a Facebook, I didn't even have
You
a
had to give her the
Facebook till
password.
8th grade. I had a secret one, and then my mom found it. Yeah,
Someone's mom ratted on you.
My mom taught me how to be so sneaky. I got rolled once because you know how your iMessages can come in on your computer if you have it turned on. I'm texting my friends and texting my mom oh yeah, this is the plan. We're just gonna go hang out at my friend's house.
Not the plan.
And she's like, oh really? As she's reading my text on my computer side. And I'm like, never doing that again. I've never hooked my iMessages up to my computer again because it's fuck me very much.
Mine are hooked up to my computer, but
Well, now
no
they
one has
are.
a
It's
password.
totally different.
But my sister literally used to use my computer, and she would read my shit,
Well,
and I would
duh,
know
she's your
because
sister.
it would be. She would leave it open because I don't open my messages unless I'm ready to respond. So
Yeah,
there'd be
you know
mad
where you
shit
left
that I'm
your
like,
screen. You're like, where?
that shit was not open. That shit was not
And
open.
it scrolled halfway down through the messages. You could at least try to leave it the way you found it.
At least That is the key to snooping. Leave it exactly how you found it, even if it's a mess.
Because if it's a mess, they'll know it's a mess.
Exactly. You know you left something a mess. You didn't like leave your
Magically
kitchen
clean
a
up.
mess and then you come back and it's clean and you're like,
it's
that
clean
makes
for you."
sense.
Someone totally came in and did the dishes
Yeah.
and didn't rob me.
At all.
No. They just came in to clean up.
Bro, I think Ramsey just got here. Because you can hear all the dogs
Yes.
losing their fucking shit.
Yes, you can. I hear Jupiter the most. Like I said, we've literally just been going on to different tangents at all times.
Well,
but
yeah,
it works.
it's my favorite fucking thing to do, or I'll get so goddamn bored.
Like, you can have a general idea of where you're going with it, but like...
Like, I knew I wanted to talk to you about acting. I knew I wanted to talk to you about failure and fucking auditions and shit.
It's all rejection.
Literally.
It's all rejection.
We haven't covered like 2 things.
Okay, let's do it.
So, one is obviously day in the life of how Euphoria went for you.
Oh my god, it was amazing. It was literally the best thing ever. First of all, I didn't expect to have my own trailer.
Oh, you had your own like whole trailer? That's so cute.
Like full trailer. It was literally like no, it was probably the size of this room because you have
That's
your own
crazy.
bathroom,
Yeah.
mini fridge, everything, and they like leave your like wardrobe for the day. Like it was amazing, honestly. It was
Like,
a lot
I could
of
get used to this.
Oh
This
yeah,
is nice.
I'm
This
like
seems
I'm
where I
never doing low
belong.
budget again. I can't like because low budget you're just sitting around in between your scenes.
Literally, like, in
versus
a metal
Euphoria,
chair.
you're in your freaking trailer like
Running back and forth from craft.
literally like not even like you literally just texted your AD and like can you have someone bring me this and they like knock on your door.
Oh my god.
Best thing ever.
You're
It
like,
was
so
much
this
fun.
is how celebrities get
Yes,
bougie. This is how it
yes.
happens.
It was honestly so much fun. And again, it was mostly improv, so it was kind of just like us fucking around and just doing what we would normally do if we were in that situation. You know what I mean? And the funniest part is really the meetings with the intimacy coordinator, because before you do like any kind of like make out scene or like even before the chicken fighting, because we were ass naked chicken
Literally.
fighting. So it's like, hi, nice to meet you. Here's my vagina just on your neck.
On your neck.
Like, yeah, literally. So she'd be like, okay, just like mark out where is okay on your body to touch and just, you know, have boundaries so no one feels uncomfortable. And so it was like
You're
a
like,
running...
my pussy lips are on his neck.
Literally.
There's discomfort.
Literally. And like, but it became a running joke, and we all, by the like half day of filming, we're more comfortable being naked at this point because everyone on
Literally.
set has seen us naked, and it's more uncomfortable to have to put those clothes back on and
Like
then
from the
strip
wet,
them off
yeah.
again than... Oh my
We
god,
should've
and we
just had
left our
robes.
socks on when we jumped in the pool. Apparently that's like a whole Reddit thread about how people loved how we jumped in the pool ass naked to go skinny dipping
With
but didn't take
socks
off
off.
our socks. That was so our bad. We'd already shot it like that, so we had to keep the wet socks on.
Oh my god.
That was fun.
That's horrible. That's
Yeah.
literally like the worst feeling in the
It
world
was
when your
hor-
socks
it was
get wet.
It was actually disgusting.
No.
But like with the intimacy coordinator, we would always be like, "Oh, is this okay, babe? Is that okay, babe? Babe, are you good?" And so we just like made a joke out of it because it's like half of us were in relationships. Like
Literally.
it's like, yeah, you're making out and it looks intense on camera, and then as soon as they yell cut, it's like everyone just starts cracking up. Like, all right, babe, you good? Cool, babe.
Oh my god.
Like you have to just be friendly with everyone because if not, you're gonna be uncomfortable.
Who was your favorite person to work with? And this can be staff, this can be crew, this can be...
Honestly, I don't know. Probably everyone. The entire crew was amazing. The entire cast was amazing. The hair team was hilarious because they made me go full blonde. So I spent a lot of time in the hair trailer.
Your actual hair?
Oh
Or did-
no, they sewed in a piece.
Okay, thank God. I'm like, Jesus.
No, they did it so well that it stayed on in the pool because it had to stay on for me falling off into the pool and
Yeah.
then getting back up and doing another take. So probably the hair girls because like I
spent
spent
the most
so
time with them.
much time with them, and then the makeup girls too because they spent at least an hour covering up my tattoos.
tattoos.
They only had one showing, so that was like about my body makeup took longer than my actual makeup. Because there's a rule on the set of Euphoria from Sam Levinson, no foundation. Like, no one on that set wears foundation.
Not allowed. So everyone's just beautiful
There's
like
literally
that.
a sign that says, no foundation, you look great, in the makeup
Aw,
trailer.
That's so beautiful. I love that.
And I think
so
that's the
nice.
first set I've been on where they barely put any makeup on me, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Because normally you walk on set and caked on, and by the time you get home, it's like
You're
5
like-
makeup wipes later.
You're like, who am I?
You're like, it's still coming off. Like,
The worst is when you do all the layers and then you do the coconut oil and you're still stained. So you're like, oh, this isn't coming
you're
off.
like, this is just gonna stay.
Dude, I did that with like red blood drops for Halloween one year.
I think you're supposed to put like a prep layer. That way it doesn't.
You're
stick
supposed to
the-
use face makeup and not matte lipstick. I use like, the Sephora matte lipsticks that they
Oh, so
had.
it sealed it.
Bitch, I had
You literally
tears
sealed
on my
it.
face. And then I put fucking finishing spray.
Oh my god. You're like, I'm gonna make sure this
These
doesn't
tears
come
don't
off
go
for a
anywhere.
year. This is gonna last me till next Halloween.
Dude, literally
Puts
though.
finishing spray on top of it.
On top of it. One key I did learn though is if you want your makeup to stay all day and you don't put blood tears on your face with a matte lipstick from Sephora, is to spray your face with finishing spray first before you do your makeup. Let it dry a little bit, but not fully, and then do your makeup and then spray again.
Tips from Tori.
This isn't my tip. This is a tip from Britt. She's amazing.
Tip from Britt.
She does amazing makeup.
We're spilling the tea on everyone.
Yes, spill the tea.
Everyone's tips and tricks.
I need to have you on here, Britt, by the way. If you watch this, you'll foresee this, and if not, you'll just see me in your DMs.
You're like, either way, you'll know.
Either way, you're gonna know soon. I think my last question for you is, it might be Euphoria, but what is the role that you were most proud of yourself for getting?
Definitely Euphoria.
Euphoria.
It's hard to compare anything else to that, honestly. Especially because I don't know how many people I went up against.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to Sam and like the crew, because I made friends with the crew first. That's really what you should be doing. They
Another
were like,
Anouk tip.
Yes, always make friends with the entire crew first, because those are the people that are really going to give you the tips you need to know and warn you before something goes bad. You know what I mean? Or you put your foot in it and it's something that's like, oh my god, don't say that here.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
The best role. You're most proud of yourself.
Definitely that one, because it was 24-hour turnaround time. And I heard from one of the hair girls actually in the 4 hours I was sitting in the hair trailer having weave put back in.
Oh my god.
They were like, oh yeah, like Sam, because I didn't hear back about the booking until literally like 11 o'clock at night and I was supposed to be on set the next day for fittings and hair.
Oh my
so like I
God.
was like, I didn't book it. It's 11 o'clock at night, and apparently Sam thought they booked me as soon as they watched my tape. He was like, oh, we didn't book her yet? And I was like, okay, so it's just like a Sam oversight. That's okay. I'm like, it's okay. At least I got it. So
That's
I'm hoping
hilarious.
he brings me back for season 3, because they were going to let me keep the hairpiece, and then they ended up keeping it. So we shall see.
The hairpiece might return, ladies
The
and
hairpiece
gentlemen.
might return, guys.
She might come back.
Lisa might be back.
The Drew Barrymore.
Yes. It really was Drew Barrymore inspired.
You can tell.
Yeah. The whole outfit was like, they literally had pictures of Drew Barrymore
Everywhere.
Yeah. Because they were going straight 90s. Like,
That's so funny that they chose you and not a girl that was already blonde and like wanted to take the time to like sew in your extensions. and
didn't
everything.
know he wanted me blonde until after he booked me. Literally. Like, he's known for rewriting stuff as things are being filmed. And the hair people didn't know he wanted me blonde either until the morning of. Like, they literally had to rush out and go get a bunch of hair pieces to try on me, because they were like, wait, what? I get a message from my manager. Yeah, they want to know if you're willing to go blonde. And I'm like, wait, what? The
You're like,
character was
dye?
never blonde. And I'm like, I can't dye it, but with a good hairstylist, they can kill it. And they did.
Yeah.
Plus, they pushed our filming date, so that thing stayed on my head for like a week.
I remember you were shooting with it for like a week.
It didn't
Didn't move.
No. And they were like, you took such good care of it. Thank you so much. I'm like, I tried.
It's like when I got the lace front. I did a lace front.
Yeah,
for like a week. It did not move. I was like, I look like I got a facelift,
And you're
it's
also
not
like,
moving.
I look so good all the time. You're
Literally,
like, what
the whole time I'm like,
Literally. You wake up and you're like, I actually just woke up like
literally,
this.
I woke up
Like, I could do this every day.
That's how I feel with microbladed eyebrows and lashes. I feel like
I dermaplane my face. It's the best thing ever.
It's
it
important.
Honestly feels so good.
like
More tips, guys. Fireworks?
I have no fucking idea. I hope so. We'll see
Welcome
the
to
Citizen
LA,
app.
people. I know. I was gonna say where.
I'm like,
nothing
where's
yet.
my Citizen app
Give
at,
it,
bro?
give it 30 seconds. Something's gonna come.
It's gonna go
in.
zzz,
Yeah.
loud sound.
Oh my god, the Citizen app makes me scared to leave my house.
It's
so.
terrifying. It's one of the most terrifying things to ever exist. And
But I also
found
need
it in
it.
LA. I found it in LA, and I was living in
Yeah.
Hollywood, 2 blocks from the In-N-Out on fucking Sunset.
I know exactly what you're talking
It
about.
literally would be like, zzz,
You should see my neighborhood. The citizen apps. Fireworks.
gotta be fireworks.
Wait, or was that screaming after? Oh, fireworks. It's popping.
Oh yeah. Who the
We-
fuck is setting off fireworks this
Guys,
close?
we are just in January. Is it them? Don't tell me
Can't
it's
be.
them. setting off fireworks.
Can't be them,
They
because
would
like it
never.
came from that direction.
It sounds like it's coming from up there now. Do you hear the popping?
Yeah.
It literally sounds like one of your neighbors.
It's gotta be. Well, it's a good thing we're coming to an end.
Just another day, guys.
Bro, last time it was my dogs. This time it's fucking fireworks in the valley. We love
Our
it.
timing was perfect, though.
It's
Our
perfect.
timing was perfect. We
Anouk-
were running late today, too.
Literally.
Look at us go.
That's why you find friends where you always run like together.
Yeah. She was like, can we do 5? And I'm like, literally was just about to text you that.
That sounds so close
Guys,
to us.
it's the 4th of July, apparently.
It's the 4th of fucking July
Yeah.
here.
During a pandemic, no one recognizes months or dates or years.
It's Sunday night.
I know, right?
Literally, what the
A little
fuck
fucking
is wrong with
respect.
people?
Everything.
Please tell them where they can find you, the lovely people.
At Anouk Samuel for all socials.
That
And
is
I'm
on
sure
all the
she'll
things.
write that in for
Yeah,
you.
it's gonna be like, and in the description,
magic.
and in the things, and there's no way that you won't know this girl's name because I do like 1,000 posts on my Instagram about my guests. So if you are
Facts.
looking for me, I am Tori212 Green on Instagram and pretty much every single social media platform, and Teawithtori podcast on Instagram. So if you're listening, then save it, download it, give me a 5-star review if you're watching.
Absolutely.
Like, comment, subscribe, do that shit,
Yes.
and I will be back next Wednesday with a new guest to give you guys some piping hot tea.
Yes. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. See ya!